So I have a chunk of dry ice from buying human organs off the black market, but I was thinking, how do you even get rid of dry ice? Like, it doesn't melt because it's literally frozen air and it repels water, which means it's homophobic. Oh wait, I mean hydrophobic. Anyways, I'm clinically stupid, so I broke a piece in half and plopped it in my toilet to see what would happen. And it was making these fun little bubbles, so I filled the bathtub and grabbed the rest of it and threw it in some water to see what would happen. And anyways, that was a mistake because it filled the whole shower up with gases, and I remembered it's not frozen air, it's frozen CO2, and I was getting lightheaded and I wasn't trying to die. So I took the piece out and I brought it to the sink and I jammed it down the drain as best as I could so it would go away. And then I took a deep breath of relief until I looked down to see I was standing in a puddle of water, and boom, my pipes exploded. There was water spraying me everywhere in the face and got everywhere. Anyways, I may have caused a catastrophic water main failure in my whole neighborhood and flooded 102 buildings. So, I don't think the vegan chicken nuggets were worth it. So I was watching my local 7-Eleven burn down today when I saw a shirt or something in the bushes. And when I walked over, I saw it was a Walmart employee uniform that someone just left there. So I decided to try it on, even though it had a stain on it that looked like, milk. But that's when I got the idea to go to Walmart and see how long it would take them to notice that I don't work there. And I was just walking around in Walmart as a fellow employee. So the first thing I did was give myself a good employee discount on a few things I found. And then I was looking for something to do when I saw the phone for announcements just sitting there. And I was super nervous, but I picked it up and said, "Attention shoppers, everything is free for the next hour." And then I hung up and panicked and tried to find a getaway, and I saw the employees only area. So I went inside and it led me to an elevator, which eventually led me out the main entrance. And when I finally made it out of there, the security was outside with its flashing lights. So I quickly took off my uniform, threw it in the bushes, and ran. I wanted to go to Chili's today, but it was burning down. So instead, I went to go get sushi. But it was one of those places where it comes on a conveyor belt and you can take what you want, except for this piece of shrimp that refused to cooperate and wouldn't release. But it's okay, because they also have a screen you can order from. So I ordered myself some crispy rice, and it zoomed by faster than I could say, "No, officer, I had nothing to do with the Chili's burning down." Anyways, then I saw these nasty cubes that look like Minecraft gravel, and I lost my appetite. So I put all the plates down the chute since I was done with them, when I wondered what's actually in there. And it said, please don't insert hands or objects, but what did I do? Hit record on my phone and insert it into the slot, which was really smart because then I dropped it down into the chute and had to call over a waiter in shame, and he told me that non-plate items go out the garbage chute around back. So I went down this creepy corridor and finally found it, and when I grabbed my phone and sat down to check what footage I had recorded, I saw... This little thing right here is called a window popper. What it's meant to do is pop a window if you're ever trapped in a car so you can get out. But I found that it works on any type of glass. So after I tried it on a picture frame and saw that that worked, I thought, what happens if I try and use this on my front entrance window? I woke up today and decided to go to Claire's to get my ear pierced because I saw they're doing it free if you give them your organs. So I walked in and I picked my piercing and then signed away the rights to my kidneys. And then they marked the ear that I wanted pierced, and then boom, they legally stabbed me. But anyways, I went home and I was so excited to take off my mask and see it, and they had pierced the mask string into my ear hole! And I started freaking out, of course, and needed to get it off. So I tried finding pliers or something, but I grabbed scissors and used them to cut the mask off so it doesn't rip my ear off. And then I looked in the mirror and I thought, maybe it looks cool. But it didn't. So I grabbed my computer to try and find the Claire's customer service line so I can sue them. But they closed at 6 p.m. and it was 6:30. So I went to bed and cried myself to sleep. And when I woke up, oh, it was infected. So now I think my ear is gonna fall off in 2 to 5 business days. So please let me know what music I should listen to before I have one ear left. Today I made a fake plane ticket with my DIY skills so I could go to the Tokyo Olympics, because I think I'm really good at gymnastics. But the problem is Japan is only letting actual Olympic athletes go there because of COVID. So I finessed the system by buying a random plane ticket to Alabama so I could get into the airport. So once I got to the airport, I found the flight that was headed to Tokyo. And then I walked over to the gate to sit down and I crossed off Alabama on my ticket. And then I used it while they were boarding and I managed to board the flight to Tokyo. And after I took my seat, I was just sitting there realizing I'm really going to Japan, huh? And then we took off and I was enjoying the flight until I looked at the safety manual and saw that I was on one of those malfunctioning Boeing 737 MAX planes. You know, the ones that decide they want to be a car while in midair. And that's when I started feeling really bad turbulence. And then I remembered my phone wasn't on airplane mode. And then that's when it got really bad because the plane started falling apart. And all of a sudden the oxygen mask came down and I just accepted that the last song I'll have ever listened to in my life was Ed Sheeran. Anyways, the crowd was getting closer and closer and oh, I actually just fell asleep. Anyways, now I'm in Tokyo. I just put a can of beans in the microwave, but little do I know, I forgot to take the beans out of the can. And now my mother freaking house burnt down. House burned down, and now I don't have anywhere to live. Where to live? I like to collect mold off of my old moldy bread and put it in a baggie that I keep in my pocket, so whenever I'm out and about at an overpriced restaurant getting an overpriced $15 acai bowl, I can order one and then eat the whole thing, and then once I'm done, I take out my mold babies and pop one in so I can take it to the register and go full Karen mode and show them the mold, and then boom, baby! Refund. I've done this in the past with dead flies at Olive Garden, but I like having bread in my pocket instead of dead decaying flies. Anyways, I wanted to give my mom some makeup, so I tried it at Sephora by putting some mold in the makeup, and then I brought the sample to the manager, and I got a free one. And then I sanitized my hands to get the mold off, of course. Anyways, after Sephora, I really wanted some tortilla chips, so I grabbed a bag, opened it up, popped some mold in, and then boom! I took it to the cashier, and I got a refund, baby. And then when I got home, I took a bite and forgot to take the mold out! Boom, baby, mold poisoning.
Boy toy named Troy used to live in Detroit. Big dope dealing money, he was getting some coins. Wasn't shootouts with the law, but he lived in a palace. Bought me Alexander McQueen, he was keeping me stylish. Now that's...
This is me buying a live crab from the store and freeing it into the ocean. The guy at the store was like, you know how to cook this, right? And I was like, oh, we are not cooking Mr. Krabs! As I was walking, some dude yelled at me and I got scared. And then this guy was walking around with an iguana. I'm like, it's my day to have an exotic pet, buddy. Look at his cute little mouth moving. Aww. I took him to the Santa Monica Pier before I freed him, and that's when I saw this guy literally kick a pigeon. I hate it here. Now, crabs can live 24 hours outside of water, but I thought, let's just free him already. Then some cops were staring at me, and I got scared. I picked him up, and I ran to the beach, and I laid him down gently on the sand. He was barely moving, so I ran into the waves to try and get him in deeper so he could swim or something. But he took a bit of a tumble. So it wasn't looking good for Mr. Krabs, and I started crying. But then he started moving again, and I thought, it's now or never. I scooped Mr. Krabs up, and I ran over to that water, and I dropped him in that water ever so gently. Oh, crap, we are out of time. If you want to see the rest of the video, the link is in my bio. Okay, so I bought one of those things that lets you FaceTime your dog and shoot treats at them. But today I was looking at the camera, and I noticed that she's been taking all her treats behind the couch for some reason. So I went to go see what she was doing with them, and, she's been storing them so that she can pretend like I never gave her one in the first place, and then ask for more like the fat little bitch she is. And yes, I can call her that because bitch means female dog, and she is a female dog. Anyways, I had enough of her scamming me, so I decided to empty out the treat machine and fill it with her least favorite treat. Green beans, baby! I put a bean on the plate and cut it up into small little pieces, and then I loaded it into the machine, and I shot it out at her, and at first she didn't want to eat it, but then she got bored, and she ate them, and I was so happy because I thought I got her on a diet, until I heard a weird coughing noise come from downstairs. I ran downstairs to see what was happening, and that's when I saw her in my beanbag bed, next to the beans which she had thrown out. Oh, I got beans in my bed! I'm gonna cry. My cactus just died. Today, I snuck an AirTag tracking device into an Ed Sheeran concert so that I could somehow stick it onto him to track him down, because that's for the FBI to know. Anyways, randomly BTS opened for him, and then Eddie was about to come on stage, so I had the genius idea to use an extra mask and fashion it into a slingshot so that when he performed, I walked up to the front of the stage, locked onto my target, and bam! It flew through the air. And now I know there's no way of it sticking to him. However, they have to pack up the stage, and it's probably gonna travel with him. So anyways, I saw Doja Cat and Lil Nas X, and then left the concert and went home. Then the next morning, I was getting a reading on the AirTag finder, and it said that he was in Las Vegas. So I flew to Las Vegas, and when I got to the airport, I thought I had already found him, but the thing is, I had a little bit of spicy grape juice on the plane, so I stumbled over to the man and shouted, Ed! And it was just a random man. So, yeah. Remember on New Year's Eve when we were all excited for 2020 to start, and then World War II almost started, and we were like, okay, that's the worst thing that's gonna happen this year. And then Australia walked in and said, you know what, I am gonna light on fire. And then immediately after that, we lost Kobe. And we're like, okay, that's enough for this year. But it wasn't, because then someone coughed. And the next thing you know, 6 million people were coughing. And then anything that ever brought anyone joy was canceled. And then after that, we were like, okay, this is too much. I would like to go to bed for the rest of the year. And then boom, murder hornets arrive in North America. Oh, what's that? That's just NASA discovering alternate universes that apparently exist now. And that thing in the sky? Oh yeah, that's an asteroid that almost wiped out humanity. Which at this point wouldn't be a bad thing. Oh yeah, the government also confirmed that they found UFOs, you know, as a little treat. And the year isn't even done yet. It's literally June. Like, what's gonna happen now? If you want to see my accurate prediction of what's going to happen the rest of the year, the link to the YouTube video is in my bio. Today I was in my car when I saw that the Amish were doing a pop-up shop, so obviously I had to go check it out because I don't believe that they're real. And when I pulled up to Simply Amish, I put my mask on because I don't want to give the entire colony the plague or something. And when I walked in, the employee was on a computer, and I was like, that's strange, they're not even supposed to have electricity. But I was walking around, and at first it seemed like a really expensive furniture store, and I was like, damn, these Amish are going to be ballin'. But then I came across this door that was half open, which led to this scary basement that had all of these artifacts and paintings of Jesus, and then randomly a Rick and Morty Chia Pet and some cards that I don't think are Amish appropriate, and then a Queen's Gambit board game, which... wouldn't that just be chess? Anyways, I felt the need to buy something so the Amish don't steal my organs. I got one of those popping toys where you put it on the ground and... Anyways, when I paid and got the bag, I noticed they slipped a key in it with a note saying, need escape? And then some coordinates, which I looked up online and found out they lead to their colony. So I think they tried recruiting me, and let me know if I should drive up there and join them. So I was making a delicious quarantine meal of salad and licorice, aka diabetes salad, when something caught my eye outside my kitchen window. I looked across my yard to see my neighbor had left a message for me. I immediately thought, bruh, I'm about to have a Taylor Swift music video love story, but then I remembered that my neighbor is a 72-year-old grandma named Myrtle that smells like moldy peas. I looked closer and saw that her sign just said hello. I thought, okay, she seems pretty friendly, so I grabbed some paper and decided to write a note back. I scribbled down, hi Myrtle, and drew some hearts. I ran upstairs to my window, left it there overnight, hoping that I could have some fun with that elderly bag of bones and skin. Then the next morning, I ran upstairs to see what she'd written back. So anyways, I'm currently hiding in my basement with my dog and my Animal Crossing trying to figure out what to say back. Please help, I'll reply in part 2. I was cleaning my room today when I found out that I just hit 10 million followers. And to celebrate, I wanted to give each and every one of you $1. Now, I don't have $10 million, but you know who does? The bank. So I went over there and had the idea to R to the O to the B it, but quickly realized that I get too anxious simply going to Starbucks and ordering for myself without nearly peeing my pants. So walking into a bank to commit a crime is kind of out of the question. So my second idea was to make an Ed Sheeran disguise that is so convincing it looks like a deep fake. So I taped it to my face and I used this simple hack that works on any ATM machines where you can type in the number of the address where the ATM is, like 900 for example, and then it'll think it's undergoing maintenance and spit out all its cash. So I tried it and boom, I suddenly had $20,000. And I stopped at each and every ATM punching the code getting racks when I remembered they have security cameras, and even though I was disguised as Ed Sheeran, I wanted to be safe, so I gently disconnected the camera from the ATM and put it on the ground. And for the rest of the night, I'd never felt more alive, single-handedly taking down the greedy banks to steal from customers every single day. I was calculated, unstoppable, careful. And I did it all right under the police's noses. It became addicting. Every single ATM was like a new hit. And the money, oh, it was endless. Ed Sheeran had to go on live TV to say he wasn't the thief. And I had gotten away with it. Oh, wait, just kidding. They actually got me. Well, at least I still have money for bail, and I still have 10 million of you guys. Wait. I can only fall asleep to loud noises, so tonight I played some mukbang videos on full volume. And I also tried blasting that one girl who goes, in all of her songs, and I was about to go to sleep like a baby when I heard a banging at my door, and I realized it was probably my insane neighbor who was literally named Karen. But when I got up and put clothes on and walked down to the door, there was nothing but an envelope that said, use these. So I brought it inside and opened it up, and she had sent me her nasty, crusty, earwax-covered AirPods that smelled like Fritos. And at first I was like, this is a human rights violation, and I'm probably disease now, until I saw the opportunity to suit up in a hazmat suit and rinse the brain caca off of them so that they look new, and then I could sell them to someone in my neighborhood for a profit. So I made a listing for like $150, and this one dude said he would buy it if I could meet him by the nuclear waste runoff. So I Ubered over there, and when I got there, I saw a bunch of money just sitting under some leaves, and I was like, that's not the safest way to do a transaction, but regardless, I just sprinkled the AirPods by it and then went home with 150 in like 4 different currencies. But it's okay, because I just ordered a bass-boosted speaker with the money from the AirPods. And when it comes, I'm gonna have a big old party and blast music with a speaker courtesy of Karen. Oh my god, it's closed. Hey Siri, call Wendy's.
Killing Wendy.
No. I said cancel.
Would you like to cancel?
Yes.
Canceling your passport and birth certificate.
What? No! How do you even have permission to do that?
Permission to leak your feed pics?
My feet? What?
Sending feed pics to everyone in your contacts.
How are you even doing this? This is illegal.
Something illegal is happening? Alerting the FBI.
Yeah, something illegal is happening. You just blew up that Wendy's.
Okay, should I send this to the FBI? I just blew up a Wendy's.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Did you say absolutely? Message sent.
No!
Would you like to use your pics from the mugshot trend for when you go to prison? Kidnap Queen Elizabeth?
Me and my 80-year-old neighbor Myrtle have been leaving each other messages through our windows to stay entertained during quarantine. That's until yesterday when she wrote a very threatening sign. I know she's an old lady, but that made my anxiety go ding 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 ding. When I went downstairs, the door was open, like she said, and there was a box. But then my ADHD distracted me and I started thinking, why did Roddy Ricch name the song The Box? Is he really just rapping about a box? Did he order? Snap out of it, Ben. You potentially have an elderly intruder in your house. She could like bite me with her dentures or something and give me corona. I took the box and screamed, "Leave me alone, Myrtle!" And then went to go make my final sign. I placed it in my window where I knew she would see it. Here's a fun Ben fact. I'm an expert in archery and I'm not afraid to turn her into Myrtle on a stake. I felt prepared, but all I could do now was wait around for Myrtle to make her move. But I got curious and decided to check out the box. It could have been booby-trapped, ha, booby, for all I know, but I opened it anyways, and it turns out it was cookies. She baked me cookies. I was enjoying some banana on the cob and scrolling through TikTok when I saw someone playing this Mario Kart in real life game. So I took my friend's credit card and ordered it. But when it came in the mail and I actually got to open it up and play it, the game was about as fun as listening to Ed Sheeran out of your own free will. So not fun at all. But you know what? It was okay, because I bought it for the only purpose of seeing if I could take it through a drive-thru and ordering something. So I strapped my credit card to it and a walkie-talkie so that I can order through the microphone. And I taped it to Luigi really good and then drove all the way over to Popeyes. And it was time to release Luigi and see if I could successfully order a fry. I set everything up and then just like that, the little Italian was off. But as he drove up to the microphone, I didn't think they could see him, so at first I did some donuts to get their attention. And then as I was spinning him around, they were like... And I was about to tell them my order when I saw there was a car coming into the drive-thru. I panicked and grabbed my Switch to try and drive away, but it said it was disconnected, so I ran over to the drive-thru and our favorite plumber Luigi was killed by a Mitsubishi. Anyways, the funeral is on Monday. Please comment your condolences if you would like to attend. Every day I bike past this fenced-off neighborhood near me that's radioactive from a nuclear meltdown. But today I decided to explore it, so I went through a gap in the fence, and after walking for about 10 minutes, I got to this mysterious door in the middle of nowhere, so I did a little knock and let myself in and closed it behind me to be polite to the radiation. Anyways, I went down the stairs and saw, some interesting artifacts that I was not exactly a fan of. And I continued through the bunker and found a very inviting door that made me feel super safe, which led to more stairs that had my knees cracking like Rice Krispies. Anyways, I eventually got to this tunnel and some doors at the end of it that said danger, do not enter. But I went in because my middle name is Danger. Just kidding, it's Emil. And after I went through the door, it closed behind me and I tried everything but couldn't open it up because it was locked. So I decided to look around and see what my grave location was gonna look like, thinking maybe it's a movie theater or a game room. And I turned the lights on to see that there was an actual nuclear missile silo where they held the nukes. And it went 100 feet down, and now this is where I live, I guess. And my phone is now on 1% uploading this TikTok. So if you see this, that's the last time you're gonna... My favorite thing to do right now is guess people's passwords of their social media accounts, because I've actually managed to successfully hack a few accounts. And I also enjoy changing some captions around without people noticing and tagging myself so people think me and Zendaya are besties. So today I managed to log into Shawn Mendes's account, and then I decided to DM some people some pickup lines like Olivia Rodrigo, which might have made me responsible for him and Camila Caboo breaking up. But anyways, today I wanted to get into Instagram's Instagram account to, I don't know, post a picture of myself or something. And then I remember the guy who owns Instagram is Mark Zuckerberg. So when I tried logging in with a bunch of different passwords and none were working, I realized it kept asking me if I'm not a robot. And since old Marky Poo is a robot, I left it blank and then boom, I was in, baby. And I was stressed about what I should post to like 400 million people, so I just chose this random picture of me at the beach and now 500,000 people have liked it. So thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, for the validation. I was joining some random Zoom calls today so I could make some friends. But after accidentally joining an Amish colony Zoom, I accidentally joined this Zoom call with this guy in it. And I was like, who's that? Until I realized I had joined a call with Dr. Fauci, the chief medical advisor to the president. And then I looked in the mirror to make sure I didn't look like a cockroach. And then as soon as I looked presentable, I grabbed my laptop and brought it out to the living room. And then I joined the call and I was like, how are you, Dr. Fauci? And he said,
I'm good, Ben. Nice to be with you. How you doing?
And then I froze and tried to think of like a question about COVID or something. And that's when I remembered my uncle texting me out of the blue saying that there's pee in the vaccine. So I was like, let me set the record straight. So I asked him,
the vaccine looks like it's just a few drops of water, and I feel like a lot of people don't really know what's actually going on in there.
What vaccine did you get, Ben?
I'm Moderna.
I got Moderna too. So So when you and I got injected, what happened? It went into the muscle. The body recognizes the protein of that virus and neutralizes it.
I feel like that was like a crash course and a PhD in biology, but it all made sense. I figured it out.
Well, you heard it from the White House and Ben of the Week. The vaccines are safe. Go get it, please. So I had just finished filling out all my private information and passwords to claim my free MacBook Pro that I won from this one email I got, until I heard a knock at my door. I was feeling a little bit scared because it was 3 a.m., but I remembered I gave them my social security number, so that means they were gonna keep me safe. I was gonna go turn my computer off and head upstairs to check the door, but it said that a virus was shutting it down for me. Now, I don't want the coronavirus, but if it's gonna start doing things for me, well then, homegirl can like, get it. I crept upstairs so I wouldn't wake up my dog, and I opened up the door, but like, there was no one there. Then I heard a weird sound come from downstairs and saw that my computer was on. I'm like, I thought Miss Corona turned it off. There was a message on the screen from a hacker saying, I'm watching you. I started screaming because I don't know how to process conflict any other way. But then I was surprised to see a message that said, your outfit's cute. Listen, I'm so starved for human attraction that we fell in love. I'm Ben, and you're watching Hack Into My Heart, the new reality TV show on TLC.
I opened my window for the first time in weeks today to collect a bunch of my fly friends. But they were being very lazy, so I decided to harvest them and put them to work. For example, say I don't want to pay for my $21 breakfast burrito, I simply call my fly babies into battle and leave a body on the plate when I'm finished. Sometimes, for good measure, I'll even put one in the water. Then I call over the manager and tell him that there is not only a fly in my food, but I am gravely allergic to the fly. Then when the bill comes, I change the total to a negative, and then they pay me back. Another great reason why you should always carry a bag of dead flies with you is for retail therapy. I want to treat my mom with some makeup, so I simply find a tester and drop a quick friend on it. Then I take it to the front counter and tell them that I could have put a fly in my mom's eye. But then they give it to me for free, and I go about my day. But guess what? It even works at Olive Garden. After I'm seated, finally, I get my free breadsticks, and I take one into the bathroom and sacrifice one of my babies for the cause. Then once the fly is on the breadstick, I exit the bathroom and walk over to the management and tell them that there is a fly on my breadstick. And boom, refund. So next time you're looking at the poor lost souls on your windowsill, just say, come on, man, it's time to scam.
They tried to put me on the cover of Vogue, but my legs were
Cut clean off by a passenger train after I tripped on the tracks one day.
So I was completely legally watching a movie today when I won an iPhone 13. And all I had to do was enter my social security number, so I typed it in. And then a week later, while I was blending my candles together to make a mega candle, I got a notification that a package was delivered. So I ran downstairs to grab it, and the packaging was a little strange, but I cracked open the box, which apparently was for the iPhone 14. And then when I opened up that box, they had sent me a toy car. And I was like, I know I didn't just give away my identity for a Hot Wheel. Then I realized it's actually a phone. So I decided to hang up on the 911 operator that I had panic called, and I checked out my new phone, and it was pretty cool until I realized it was a used phone. And I think the previous owner was someone's grandma, because I saw in her text she wasn't just having booty calls, but a whole booty conference. Now, I didn't want this phone anymore after going into the images and seeing Granny's Milkies, so I picked it up one last time and checked her contact section and noticed she had her address on there. So I grabbed the phone and biked over to her house, which happened to be only an hour away. And when I got there, Granny is on her Jeff Bezos type beat. So I decided to put my name in her contacts, and then I threw the phone over the fence, and I'll let you know if I slide.
I was enjoying some fresh strawberries when my doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone, but I went and answered the door anyways. No one was there, but whoever rang the doorbell had left an egg. It was covered in blue speckles and it was warm, but I decided right then and there, I'm gonna care for this egg until it hatches and be a bird dad. I made a little house for it by grabbing a box and putting grass in it. Then I set up a heat lamp so that Egbert would be nice and toasty. But I was getting bored of waiting for him to hatch, so I decided to take him on a walk. Well, it was more of a roll. I taught Egbert how to skate and showed him to my dog, but then she tried to eat him, and I was like, after a week, my son started to get an attitude. He would just roll away from me when I was talking to him and then go play Fortnite all day. But then one day we started arguing because the place was a chicken coop, and I got so mad I stormed off. I started to feel bad, so I went to go say sorry, but he was gone. I ran outside and I looked everywhere for him. I checked the patio, I went and looked in the garden. I was starting to freak out when Egbert? I was seeing how many oranges I could fit in my mouth before throwing up when my doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone, and when I answered it, there was no one there, just a notebook. It was kind of creepy, but when I opened it, I realized it was for my horse girl cousin Gretchen, and she'd drawn me, Peppa Pig? I thought I'd draw her something back, so I made, 2 minions in love, and I left it in the same place for her. The next morning, the doorbell rang again, and I opened it to find another Peppa, so I took the liberty of drawing Rainy Rodriguez as my sleep paralysis demon, and put it back the same place as yesterday. However, However, the next day I received something completely different. When I opened the sketchbook, Peppa had turned into bacon? Is this a threat? I texted her, haha, very funny, Gretchen, stop coming to my house. And she was like, what? And so I replied, Peppa time is canceled, Gretchen. And she replied, I don't know what you're talking about. So, knowing that wasn't Gretchen the whole time, I felt completely terrified, so I watched some seafood ASMR eating and fell asleep. I woke up to my leg burning from my laptop. My hand kind of felt weird, and I noticed I was covered in bacon. Anyways, now I'm completely terrified, and I don't know what to draw in return. Please help. So, I was busy trying to carbonate milk with my mom's soda stream and make milk soda when my friend who lives in a different city texted me, come here now. I get really scared when people send a text and end it with a period. So naturally, I ignored the text and laid in bed and stressed about it until 30 minutes later when they texted me again. I checked the text and it said, it's an emergency. And I was like, emergency? Emergency. Just like call 911 or something. But then I thought, maybe they're like Hamster died or something. So I got up, got all the way in my car, turned on some Harry Styles. But then after 20 minutes of driving, I had to pull over because I was crying too hard. To feel better, I switched on Crazy Frog.
What's going on?
Sometimes when I listen to a really good song in the car, I kind of lose track of how fast I'm going. So while I was in the middle of vibing, I saw flashing lights behind me. But then I remembered getting arrested is a choice, and today I choose not to be arrested. So it turns out that's actually not my choice, but I did get these really cool mugshot pictures out of it. You should totally go check them out on my Instagram. It's @Ben of the Week. And comment Crazy Frog if you came from this TikTok. Okay, love you, bye. Mom! What? I want a bowl of chili. Okay.
Dinner is served.
What is this? It's chili. I'm a Canadian, and this is my Canadian passport, and this is my Canadian passport picture. And for some reason, I'm in the freaking United States during the season finale of America. Because I'm stupid, and I just really wanted some good American fast food. Anyways, I was trying to escape before it becomes the newest Purge movie. So I packed up my JoJo Siwa poster, my Rainy Rodriguez shrine, and my favorite toilet seat, and I left my room for the very last time, and walked over to the bus station to go back to Canada. And as I was sitting on that bus, I remembered I forgot my passport on my desk while filming this TikTok. So I freaked out, and I got off the bus, and I ran back to my place faster than Zoe Laverne is running from the federal authorities. And once I grabbed it, I then called an Uber back to Canada, and it was $4,000, but I booked it since I missed the bus. Anyways, the Uber arrived, so I went downstairs, and I got in, and the guy was chill until he turned to me and said, is it just you? And I said, why? And he said,
I ain't never seen two pretty best friends.
I was sucking grapes into my mouth as a snack when I realized these grapes haven't been washed yet. And you know what's on unwashed grapes? Chemicals and bugs. You know what gives Spider-Man his powers? A bug covered in chemicals. I suddenly felt nauseous and had to throw up, but I felt something. I shot a web out of my wrist and flushed the toilet. And that's when I realized I have powers. Think of all the things I can do now. I can free Joe Exotic. I can fling the girl who sings Dance Monkey into the orbit of the sun. I went to the grocery store and picked up more grapes to fuel my power. But there was an old grandpa who wasn't social distancing, so I used my web to yank his walker out of his hands. Good luck crawling within 6 feet of me. When I got home, I immediately inhaled the new batch of superbugs. I felt my power grow stronger. My veins were pumping blood and my heart rate was going the speed of light. But then I blacked out. I woke up from my coma 3 years later. The whole world was empty from the pandemic and I realized everyone I loved was gone. But then I thought, I can still shoot noodles from my wrist. I'm Spider-Man, baby. So I was making my delicious quarantine meal of tortilla chip cereal, but as soon as I took a bite, I dropped a piece on the ground and my freaking dog ate it. And I thought to myself, isn't it weird how us humans just live with animals? Like somehow a wolf evolved into this cute little rat looking thing, even though she wouldn't survive a day in the wild. But as I was making this TikTok, I was like, wait, where's Kobe? And I caught her in the corner of my eye running directly towards the road. I ran so fast they canceled the Olympics because they knew I would just win everything. Anyway, she was almost at the street and to my left was a car coming. I thought to myself, am I willing to lay down my life for this little rat? And I was like, nah, I'm not ready to meet Bob Ross and Grumpy Cat in heaven. So I just let the car turn her into a pancake. Of course I would save her, are you crazy? I lunged in front of the car and shoved her out of the way, but so it turns out the car was parked the whole time and like was not going anywhere.
Hey, it's not my fault that I have poor depth perception.
Since people keep asking, my house is fine, my microwave is good, I really tricked all of you freaking hoes. Freaking hoes, you really thought I'd burn my house down for a video. Hey, can I listen? Yeah, of course. Can you clean it, please?
Oh my god, yeah, I'm so sorry. Let me clean it.
Oh.
What are you doing?
I don't want to listen anymore.
Look, it's all clean. Go on, put it in.
I was really bored, so I tried to buy the most expensive thing on Gucci's website for funsies, but that's when I remembered, Ben, you can't afford Taco Bell. So I was typing random numbers, hoping one was an actual credit card number, and nothing was working. I was like, well, there goes my wool alpaca cardigan. Finally, I tried 69. Expiration date, April 20th, aka 420, and security code 666. And I hit enter. I was like, oh, well, that was fun. So I closed my laptop, but then I got an email saying my order had shipped. And then suddenly I heard a knock at the door, and I was like, I didn't know what I just did, so I checked my doorbell cam, and there was a stranger there. Then I heard the door open, and then there were footsteps coming towards me, and then falling. And then the intruder got up and said, "This is the FBI. We've got you." And I was like, "You've got me? You think you've been watching me? For the past month, I've had my FBI agent's laptop bugged. Every time he logs in to watch me, I've been watching him. In fact, I ordered this exact item knowing it would bring him here." He ran back to his HQ to open up his laptop, and in disbelief, there I was, fully in control of the FBI system. Checkmate.
I was putting my clothes in the dishwasher today because I broke my washing machine when I tried washing dishes in it last week because my dishwasher was broken in the first place. But anyways, I was in the kitchen and heard a snowball hit my window, and when I looked out the window, my elderly neighbor Myrtle had put up a sign that said, "Check your mail." Now, as threatening as that seemed, I was so excited because her son owns the website where you watch Corn with a P, and in the past, she's given me like $1,000 at Christmas and a cute little picture of herself. So I went to the door and grabbed the card, and when I opened it, I noticed that this time there was no gift, which is fine and all, but also the picture she had sent me had some man's hand in the corner, and on the card there was weird capitalization, so I highlighted the capital letters and it spelled "help me," and I started freaking out. So I drove over to her house, which was 50 feet away. Sorry, Greta Thunberg. And I was gonna save her from being choked, but when I got there was a van outside that said 50 Shades of Play, and I think that's what Myrtle's into. So now I'm traumatized.
You still use Airpods?
Have you tried Mushpods?
Wow, amazing. The sound quality is phenomenal. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you.
Ayo, I was in the background of a rapper's music video and I don't know what I'm doing, check. Today, I was sick of feeling lazy, so I went on the treadmill, walked 3 steps, and then got off. But as I was folding it up, my anemia hit, and I couldn't hold the treadmill anymore, and it collapsed on me. When I woke up, my arm was trapped underneath the metal, and I couldn't get out. My dog is too stupid to help me, and I couldn't even call for help because my phone was just out of reach, and I turned Siri off because last time I used her, well...
Hey Siri, call Wendy's.
Killing Wendy.
No.
The only thing within reach was a minion figurine and a fork with a grape on it. First I ate the grape because like, grapes are delicious. But then it hit me what needed to be done. I put the minion in my mouth so that I wouldn't scream. Then I grabbed the plastic fork and I took my arm off. Wait, does that say emergency release latch? As in like, I did not have to sever my arm. I did not need to cut off my arm. Today, I'm giving $10,000 to the employees at my local Taco Bell. I pulled up to the window and said,
Hi, can I get a bean burrito, please?
When I pulled up to the window, they gave me the burrito and I gave them $2. What do I look like, Mr. Beast? Plus this box has $30 in it max, just some Minecraft plush toys and a card if I ever went missing as a child. But then as I was eating my Taco Bell burrito, I started feeling bad. Maybe the Taco Bell employees have little Taco Bell babies at home that need little Taco Bell diapers or they'll shed their little Taco Bell tears. And I thought, I may not have $10,000, but I can show them I appreciate them. I went home, grabbed some markers, and decided to write a little card telling them how much I appreciate them on being on the front lines of this pandemic and everything. I also thought to add a little something else, since this is already a TikTok, for every 100K likes this video gets, I'll add $10 to the card, up to $100, because I really do not be Mr. Beast. I finished the card with some drawings of tacos, because I love tacos. And tonight, I'll head over to Taco Bell and drop it off. I'll see you in part 2 tomorrow.
Today, I threw away all my electronics so I could join the Amish and live a simple life. But after about 10 minutes, I got really bored of harvesting wheat and apples and wanted to watch a good old YouTube video. But I didn't have any devices to watch YouTube on, so I obviously walked over to the YouTube headquarters. And when I got there, I managed to walk right in and I found an empty room with a TV in it so I could watch a few videos from my personal collection. Anyways, after I had cured my boredom, I left the room and raided the YouTube fruit counter and grabbed an orange and an apple and a DVD copy of the videos I watched. But when I finally got home, I realized I can't play this because I don't have a record player. But I looked around my room and saw an old radio speaker thing and popped the CD in it just so I could listen to the audio and imagine the video in my mind. But when it started playing, it sounded like it was coming from outside my house, and that's when I realized I had it set to broadcast. And I ran outside to see every radio in the vicinity was playing. I woke up at 4 a.m. to borrow some of my roommate's peanut butter today, but when I opened it up, I saw he's been scooping it out the jar in a really strange way, which is really inefficient because there's just more surface area for it to dry out. But anyways, I wanted to make a peanut butter and spray cheese sandwich, but I felt like I needed some raspberries, so as I was taking the bread out of the fridge, I knocked out the raspberries. But I believe in the 5-minute rule instead of the 5-second rule, so I scooped them up and assembled my delicious sandwich, and I added the raspberries and a nice little squirt of easy cheese, and then I took a big old bite, but I started feeling really funny, and I thought I was having an allergic reaction to the peanut butter, but then I remembered the raspberries were not exactly the freshest, and I just ate an ounce of both. So I grabbed my computer and tried to call poison control, but they were closed because of Thanksgiving, and I was like, damn, I'm really gonna puke my guts out because some white dudes wanted to have a feast after a mass genocide in 1621. So anyways, I decided I should probably write my will, and I opened up my notes app and said all my money and my plant collection and my life-size Zendaya cardboard cutout will go to my dog. Thank you and goodbye forever, I guess. Bro, what was that? What are you doing?
Oh, I don't know. I just thought it'd be kind of cool, I guess.
Don't do that. That's really freaking weird.
I'm sorry. I just thought, like...
I don't know why, like, out of all things you could do, you do that. Like, what is that?
Okay, I just wanted to show I liked it. Okay?
What? By hitting yourself? This is the stupidest thing ever.
Okay, I'm sorry. Next time I'll just throw my poop like usual when I'm excited.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Alright, peace. That was my wife, and she was wondering if you wanted to eat some dinosaur tonight. Oh, word? Alright, let's go. I had just finished doodling all over my arms for 5 hours straight while watching the Minions movie. But then my arm started to burn and I was like, it's fine, it's washable ink. So I quickly ran upstairs to my bathroom to wash it off and it was permanent. The ink was now fused to my skin and I could feel the doodles entering my bloodstream. But I got distracted and thought, doodle is such a funny sounding word. Like, you can't say doodle angrily. And then I realized my arms had fallen off. They were just on the floor staring back at me. How am I gonna deal with the spider colony in my bathroom? I'm gonna have to eat them to get rid of them. Actually, that wasn't too bad. It's a little bit crunchy and a little bit salty. How am I gonna drive to Taco Bell now? How am I gonna shop for mayonnaise? How will I put on hand sanitizer? Wait, I don't need hand sanitizer because I have no hands. I won't be catching no viruses. Hi, I'm Ben, and this is why you should chop off your arms. So I don't know if you saw, but Lil Nas X released these new Nike shoes that have a drop of real human blood in them. But I thought the colors were cute, so I ordered a pair of them. And while I was waiting around for them to arrive, I saw a lot of Karens were mad about it. And I was trying to figure out why, because having spare human blood on you at all times would be so helpful. Like if I was ever, I don't know, walking back from Taco Bell and a Toyota Prius smashes into me, and I'm lying on the ground like, dang, this is kind of awkward. Also, I'd probably be dying and need a blood transfusion. In that moment, I could just pop my shoe off and use my shoe blood and be completely fine. Then I could grab my food that I dropped from being hit by a car and find a nice bench to eat my taco on. Until I realize I'm currently on church property and I'm wearing my Lil Nas X Satan shoes and uh-oh. I'll have what he's having. Sir, this isn't a restaurant. This is death row. He's getting euthanized for killing 47 people. I didn't stutter. Today I woke up on Mr. Beast's 35-foot tall inflatable minion that I tried blowing up the night before with my lung, but my asthma kicked in and I passed out. But anyways, last week he was like,
hey Ben, can you make me the world's largest minion?
But I hung up on him because he's not despicable enough. He's like the opposite. He's like philanthropicable. But he called back and I was like, he really is despicable. And I agreed to do it, and ever since then I have been making sure this minion is perfect. So I got the whole factory to line up and take turns blowing it up so I wouldn't be the only one passing out. And I tried to fashion together a giant suit to fit him, but I ran out of fabric and... But finally he was ready. The only problem was when I opened my trunk and tried to fit his body in it, which usually it can fit a few of those, he didn't fit. So I had to ship him in a truck, but I wanted to be along for the journey, so I snuck in while the back door was open and rode in that boy across America until we finally stopped, and I opened the door and... Hey. I got your minion.
Just put it over there.
Okay. I was picking the ticks out of my dogs first so I could collect them and inject them with acid until they popped. But just before I could even get to doing that, my phone went off. And when I checked it, my friends had invited me to go rollerblading with them. So I dropped what I was doing and I met them at the roller derby rink. Now I paid $10 to rent some skates, but listen, these babies were impossible to put on, and when I stood up, it felt like I had fettuccine noodles for legs. But it was actually really fun, except there was a small child who kept trying to chase me, and I'm allergic to small children, so I tried to avoid him at all costs. But then he got too close to me and I ran him over. And in the distance, I heard some lady who I think was his mom screaming at me about her little overgrown fetus. So I left the roller rink and escaped into the mall, but I could still hear her screaming in the distance, so I started running. And then that's when I saw a security guard and told him that there was a psychopath chasing me, and thankfully he snuck me out of the mall, and turns out she got arrested later for biting an employee. So...
Today, my worst nightmare happened. So I bought this fun shirt, which had this cute little accessory on it, which actually isn't a fun accessory. It's a big exploding ink security tag that they just forgot to take off of my $50 shirt. So anyways, now I'm panicking because I'm too nervous to go back into the store and ask them to take it off. So I tried pulling it off with my teeth, but I didn't want the ink to explode on my face, staining me permanently blue like a Smurf. So I looked online, and apparently you need to freeze the tag to get it off. So I went to go throw it in the freezer, and for some reason there was raw chicken in the freezer, and this isn't my house, this is an Airbnb. And then I put the shirt in the freezer and waited all night, and I was getting impatient, so I decided to just pull it out and grab 2 forks, a pizza cutter, some tongs, and some spoons. And I took the forks and jammed it in the tag, and it was not working. And I got mad, so I whipped it against the ground, and then I stomped on it, and then I grabbed a chair, and I used that, and then I tried some spoons, and it still didn't work. So I laid down on the ground until I realized I could microwave it. So I put it in for almost 10 minutes, and it started smelling a little spicy. So I took it out and used the forks again, and I got it off! And we're out of time, but if you want to see me set it off, I'm gonna detonate it on my Instagram story. Hey, guess what? Today is Miss Corona's first birthday. On November 17th, 2019, the very first dude went and now 55 million people have gone and everything sucks now. Anyways, I was throwing a little party for COVID because I feel like no one else appreciates her, so I invited her over by going to the local COVID testing location, sneaking into the employees only area, and licking all of the testing swabs. But when I left, an employee yelled at me. Anyways, when I got home, all of a sudden I felt a little ill, and boom, she was at the party. I had bought some Taco Bell for the party, ordered $1,000 worth of slime to play with, and just when Miss Corona thought she was about to open her birthday present, she realized the present was hand sanitizer, and I grabbed the virus in a chokehold and poured the sanitizer all over the coronavirus and beat it with a mask for canceling everything that I was looking forward to, and worse. Anyways, once again, please wear a mask, not just because of corona, but also because some of y'all have musty, dusty breath. Thanks. I was getting my teeth fixed today, because last week I tried one of those Bang energy drinks that all those TikTokers promote, and it tasted like urine and it made my teeth fall out. Anyways, as I was sitting there, I accidentally popped out the ushy gushy thing that was sitting at the back of my throat, and it fell on the floor, so I picked it up off the ground and popped it back in without wiping it off or anything. But then when I got home, I felt something sharp in my mouth and noticed I had a fingernail glued to my tooth, and I flipped my shit. I was so grossed out, and I tried ripping it off, but it was stuck on. And then I tried using a fork to scrape it off, but that didn't work. And then I tried playing dentist, and all I did was knock out another tooth. And then I realized I need something powerful to get it off. So I walked over to the local power plant near me to try and zap it off. And I climbed up a power line and bit down on it when zap! I woke up and I checked my lip and the fingernail was gone. And I was so happy, so I grabbed my phone and a lightning bolt shocked me. And that's when I realized the power line had given me powers. And I was Mr. Electrodad. Today I went to go see Billie Eilish at Coachella, but before she came on, there was this dude wearing a big sparkly onesie who opened for her that kept staring at me, and I was thinking to myself, what's up, do you have a staring problem, buddy? But anyways, he did a little dancey dance thing, and Shrek was in the audience and seemed to love it, but his cameraman kept getting in the way and then turned to me, and the next thing I knew, rewind that. He put me on the big screen, and I freaked out and went behind the cameraman and started unplugging random cables from his camera, and it turned off the video on the screen. But anyways, then Billie Eilish came on and kept invading my personal space and staring at me, and I was like, do celebrities never get taught that staring is rude? Why are you yelling at me? But then she did her little dancey dance and left the stage, and I took a golf cart home from Coachella, and when I woke up the next morning, I checked my phone to see a DM from Billie herself asking if I was at her show with a winky face, and I replied, no, silly Billie, here's a restraining order, leave me alone, and I went back to bed. Today I made a DIY North Korean driver's license by taking a picture with my iPad, and then I googled North Korean IDs and slapped my face on it, and I made it look all pretty by crossing this guy's name off and giving myself a fake name. But I didn't do this so I can get into a club or anything. I did it so that every day I can print a new one and change my birthday to today's date so I can get free stuff every single day like a Starbucks drink or make people be nice to me. Anyways, I first tested my ID at Olive Garden, and the waiter got the whole restaurant singing happy birthday to me. But more importantly, I got a big
all cannoli for free, baby. Anyways, next I went to Cheesecake Factory, and I showed my waitress my ID, thinking she would give me, I don't know, a cheesecake slice at Cheesecake Factory. But when she came to the table, she had all these cheesecake slices, and what did she give me? A bowl of berries. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess. But then she dropped the bill off and charged me $8 for the strawberries, when all I wanted was a slice of cheesecake for free because they were like $10. So basically fake North Korean IDs don't work at Cheesecake Factory.
So I've been waiting for this day for a month now. That's because today is the delivery day for my brand new iPhone 12 Pro Max iPhone 12 Pro Max 512 gigabytes Pacific blue color. And yeah, it was $2,000, but it's got really good speakers, so I bring it in the shower, and it's really fun to just... Hey guys, so actually now I have an Android. It was all I could afford after paying $2,000 just to break my iPhone, but it's really fun. What are those monstrosities? Absolutely not! Hey guys, so now I'm using the Vizio Smart TV that I found behind a dumpster after walking through a local junkyard. And the screen is really big, but that's okay, because it's great for watching TikToks, and I really love... Oh, fuck. So now I'm coming to you live from my brand new Sunbeam Ultra Crisp 2-in-1 toaster, and it's actually kind of better than the Android. But, the phone disconnected again. Let me fix that real quick. Hey guys, so I'm actually coming to you live from hell now, where I'm currently burning. I squeezed a whole bottle of lotion on my hands because they were as dry as my cat's ashes. And also, I wanted my hands to be soft for the date that I was going on today. I was late, so I ran upstairs, turned on the security system, and I was about to head out the door when I couldn't turn the knob. My hands were so lusciously moist from the moisturizer, they were just slipping and sliding off the knob. And I started freaking out because my security alarm would call the authorities if I didn't get out in 30 seconds. So I tried drying them off by rubbing them on my pants, but they still didn't have any grip. So I tried putting them in rice, and they were still too slippery. And then I looked at the security system, and I just 3 seconds left, so I fell to the ground crying, not knowing what to do, until I remembered the driest thing in my house. My cat's ashes. I grabbed the urn and covered my hands in the dust, and I headed for the doorknob, and luckily it worked. I turned it, opened it, and...
Yo.
So people used to say I look a lot like Noah Centineo, but then he grew a beard and bleached it, and now if you ever say I look like him, I will cry. But then I thought, I have a prime opportunity to impersonate him. Now I can't grow a blonde beard in 10 seconds, but I know someone that has what I need. I grabbed my dog Kobe and cut off a little bit of her hair and taped it to my cheeks. It felt a little bit uncomfy because she has fleas and they got mad and started biting me, but whatever. I looked in the mirror and thought, oh my god, I'm Noah Centineo. Now I just need to post from his Instagram account and tell people to send me $3 million so I can buy 3 million refrigerators and leave them open and stop climate change. I was logging into his account, but I didn't know his password. First I tried 1, 2, 3, 4, and what the? It worked! Just as I was about to make the post, I got a call from the FBI. They said, you've been caught hacking. We're gonna drop a nuke on your house. I screamed, ah! And I grabbed everything I love and got in my car and drove as fast as I could. But as I was driving, I was like, wow, these clouds are so beautiful. It looks so peaceful out. Oh, I'm about to drive off the road. So I keep seeing new TikTok houses popping up, and I realized, wait a minute, I live in a house and I have TikTok. I could make a TikTok house. First things first, I needed to name the house, so I thought I'll close my eyes, spin in a circle, and the first thing I see when I open them, I'll name it. Okay, so I passed out because I got too dizzy, but when my eyes opened, I saw a piece of chocolate. I thought, oh, the Cocoa House. That's cute. But as my eyes focused, I realized it was actually my dog's doo-doo. But then I had the idea, the doo-doo house. I started cleaning up so it didn't look like I was filming TikToks in a dumpster. I shoveled the sidewalk so that no one slips and breaks their neck while throwing it back to Savage. Then I checked to see if there were towels so that all the stinky TikTokers can shower. But then I remembered I ran out of toilet paper weeks ago and I've been using... Anyways, finally, it was time to recruit people. I DM'd over 50 celebrities, TikTokers, YouTubers. I even told the girl who sings Dance Monkey that she's banned from the doo-doo house, and she literally replied. I waited 24 hours to see who would reply, and if you want to see everyone that's now a part of the doo-doo house, the link is in my bio. Okay, here we go. I'm really sorry, Mom. I just put a can of beans in the microwave. So little do I know, I forgot to take the beans out of the can. And now my mother's taking house burned down. Oh my god, no. Today I woke up and decided it's a good day to buy a hamster. My friend and I zoomed over to the hamster store and we looked at them and they were so cute. And we realized we need a hamster house and some hamster food. So we loaded up a cart and got a bunch of toys and bedding. Then it was time to pick a hamster. So we got an employee to open up the box and my friend picked a little one and then it bit her. And like not like a tiny bite, like this hamster got like a whole vein and there was this family watching horror as my friend lost blood. Anyways, that hamster was canceled and we grabbed a different one and the employee put her in a different box, but we were about to go in the car when we were like, this box sucks. So we put her in her own little transport orb. Then we got home and put together her little hamster house with a little carrot, and we took her out the hamster ball, and she was exploring and vibing, and she still doesn't have a name, so if you have any ideas, please let me know.
Today I texted my crush that I love her and want a relationship, and I felt like throwing up until she replied with, I'm in Lisbon. And then she sent the, Portuguese flag, I think. I don't know, I'm not good at geometry. But anyways, I wanted to surprise her, so I booked the next ticket to Lisbon, Portugal. So I packed up my stuff and went to the airport, and it was a 30-hour journey, but it was in the name of love. And when I landed, I realized I should probably get her something as a gift, so I walked into a store and came across these very interesting frozen feet in the freezer section, and I thought, who would want to suck on feet? Oh, me. So I bought them, and opened up the box and ate every last foot. And they tasted like strawberries. I don't know why I was expecting foot flavor. Not that that's what I wanted, but anyways, I got the bright idea to take all the popsicle sticks and make a little fun DIY bracelet out of them with hearts on it. So I did just that, and then the next day, I was gonna give my crush the bracelet. So I went to DM her and asked her to meet up and realized she said, I'm a lesbian. I'm a lesbian.
I was crying face down on the floor in my plate of taquitos because I can't figure out how to do any TikTok dances, but they look so fun. When I try and follow one, it feels like I'm reading Japanese while blindfolded, but today I'm changing that. It is unacceptable that I have 5.5 million TikTok followers and have never posted a dancing video. So today I'm learning one and I'm not stopping until I get it. I chose to do yodeling Haley's dance to money trees because it just looks so fun and easy. And it's definitely fun, but after sweating so much that I had to change shirts 3 different times, my conclusion is that it is not easy for me. I got the first part down where it's like, get this dough. But then I watched it over and realized I'm missing a huge part. The facial expressions. I look like I'm in pain when I dance. But I can't be looking like I just ate a candle and haven't gone to the bathroom in 2 weeks if I want this dance to look good. So I forced myself to smile in the mirror for an hour straight so I don't look constipated. And then I tried the dance again and I got it. Like I actually got it. And I just posted it on this account, so tell me how it did. Today was my first day working at Starbucks and I was making a garbage water frappuccino until I realized this isn't a Starbucks. Everything is fake. I'm in a fake Starbucks in IKEA. I ran as fast as I could to escape the fake Starbucks. And when I finally got out, I realized I still don't have a job. How am I gonna get enough money to buy a Shrek cardboard cutout? So I made a resume even though I have 0 qualifications. I got in my car and drove to the haircut store, but they wouldn't hire me because they saw me give myself a bad quarantine haircut. So then I drove over to the grocery store and then I was looking for the manager until some dude coughed in my face. I wiped the diseases off my face and then ran to my car to apply hand sanitizer. But I didn't realize I had a cut on my finger. It burned so bad that I passed out, but I was still driving my car and it rolled off by itself. When I woke up, I had no clue where I was. And my car was out of gas. I got out and realized I was in the middle of nowhere, but then I remembered I can just check my GPS and how did I end up in North Korea?
I don't know if you've seen those comments on TikTok of beautiful women asking if there are any boys here, but today I remembered I am a boy, so I decided to investigate and saw that she was asking me to go to her bio. So I clicked the link in her bio and it instantly froze my iPad and I couldn't close the app or anything until a thing popped up asking for my phone number and credit card number to fix it. And so obviously I was like, thank God, a solution. So I grabbed my credit card from my wallet and typed it in, but then after I did that, my iPad fully shut off and started smoking. But I was like, okay, thank God they reminded me what my credit card number is. So I went to the Apple store to go replace all my Apple products that are now fried, but I got distracted and tried to make the wallpapers minions kissing, and I played some random rats dancing on all the iPhones. But then an employee yelled at me, so I fled with no iPhone, and now I'm trying to catch a bird so I can use it as a carrier pigeon to talk to people since I have no electronic devices left. Today, I was in the drive-thru line at Starbucks trying to get the Donald Trump drink, which is just a cup that's full of sad old man tears. But as I pulled up, I was feeling generous, and I told the barista, can I pay for the order in front of me? And the Starbucks employee said,
that's so sweet. Let me bring that up for you. Would you like anything else?
So I said, can I get a cake pop and a white hot chocolate? But that's when the barista said,
that comes up to $94.24.
I stopped and said, what in the star did you say? And the barista told me they ordered 7 drinks, 4 pastries, and a travel mug. So I told the barista, hey, I'm actually just gonna get the cake pop. But the person ahead of me had already driven away and they told me I had to pay or the cops would be called. So I pulled up and paid, but I wasn't gonna stop until I got my travel mug. I followed the car until it parked and I approached the window and I said, give me the mug! Anyways, look at my $94 Starbucks travel mug that I had to pry out of a soccer mom's hands.
Today I woke up sad and single for the 7,347th day of my life. As I got up to drink my water bottle full of stale Red Bull, I thought, no, this ends today. Okay, here goes nothing.
Dear Zendaya,
You don't know me, but I love you. This is my formal marriage proposal to you. April Fool's was yesterday, so I'm dead serious. I would love to marry you on the set of Shake It Up, but the set's actually on top of a boat in the middle of Fiji. And I've invited every Disney Channel icon. Look, there's Bertram from Jessie sitting next to Bob Duncan from Good Like Charlie. Oh, and there's Mr. Mosby from The Sweet Life. Wait, why is everyone in the audience a bald man? Anyways, I invited Bella Thorne, but she couldn't make it because they stopped her at the airport because she was trying to smuggle drugs. Anyways, I truly believe you were the most beautiful woman on the planet. If I could describe how you make me feel, it's like when you see a hydraulic press video and they squish a piece of soap and it becomes little soap noodles in the air. Now, my net worth is $3 and a half used Subway gift card, so I made my own little soap noodle ring just for you. So, Zendaya, will you be my wife? Guys, please send this to her. If she sees this, I will scream.
You bring the corsets, we'll bring the cinches. No one wants a waist over 9 inches. So what the makeup contains like poison. At least your complexion will bring all the boys in.
I was at Staples because I needed some staples so I could staple a staple into my staple box so Staples wouldn't fall out anymore. But Staples was sold out of all the staples, and I asked the Staples employee named April if they had any more staples, and she said that I could order some more staples from Naples. But this Staples had no staples, so I was gonna leave with no staples, but my phone was dying, so I needed a cable. So I walked past April and went to the cables, but the cables were too much, so I just bought a bagel. And now I'm at home at my table with my bagels and no staples or cables because April from Staples wanted me to choke, and as I bit my bagel, it had mold, and the bagel was fatal, and I fell off the table, and my last thoughts were of my lover named Mabel when we would sit by the stables and pour Mabel all over our bagels. And as I took my last breath on the floor, I saw a staple. I was screaming into the void because I had dropped 10 pounds of protein powder on my pinky toe until I realized I'm almost at 5 million followers on here. Now, I can't even count to 5 because last week I crashed into a telephone pole while going too hard to hey, phone shout. Oh my god, which gave me brain damage and memory loss. Oh my gosh, I just realized I'm almost at 5 million followers. I want to celebrate by eating 5 million olives because I love them so much. But when I opened my fridge, I only had 1 jar. So obviously I called a place where all olives come from, Olive Garden. They said to stop calling or they'll call the police. And I told them, if your breadsticks really are unlimited, then you should act like it and I won't light my table on fire in a fit of rage. But then they hung up and I realized I'd burned down every other Olive Garden in my city. So I thought I'll make my own Olive Garden. I drove over to an old abandoned restaurant, planted some olive trees, and decided to dedicate my life to harvesting the olives until I have 5 million to share with you guys. So come on down to Olive Garden. Listen, I don't want to get sued.
Today I went to the fair so I could try and go on that tilt-a-whirl ride that was about to collapse in this TikTok that I saw. But when we were standing in line for it, I noticed some sparks fly as it flew by, and a literal screw had been sharded out. And I was like, well, the Juice WRLD concert's gonna be really good after this. Anyways, we got on and found our seats and put the thing on, and I don't know what they did, but they had cranked that speed up to the max. And you know what? It surprisingly didn't fall apart, but instead I just passed out like a little infant that can't stay awake. Anyways, I got off and was feeling kind of hungry, and I saw the cotton candy booth, so I went over to it, and they gave some to us for free because they were so nice. And I was enjoying my cotton candy when my friends dragged me onto this swingy thingy. So I reluctantly gave the dude my ticket and found my seat. And once it started moving, I realized that cotton candy and motion sickness is a terrible mix. They were swinging our butts around this thing like no tomorrow, baby. Because I threw up. And it sprayed on a worker. And I'm never allowed back. Last night I went to Chuck E. Cheese to lie and say it's my birthday to get free pizza. And it worked, baby. But the place was terrifying and the food was even scarier. And after a few bites, I started feeling sick like I had worms in my stomach. So I got up and I stumbled out of the restaurant and I went home. Then the next day I scheduled an emergency Zoom doctor's visit and he told me that I'm lactose intolerant. And I was like, what the hell? I don't lactose. I got all 10, baby. But then he told me to put my feet away and I was like, you're right. You should be paying me for this, not the other way around, buddy. And then he started telling me you can't eat pizza anymore. But his video started to cut out, but it's okay because I know what lactose intolerance is. I can't have bread anymore. So I got rid of all my bread and dumped all of that fart food right in the trash. And then I grabbed some milk and chugged nothing but pure milk for a few days. And you know what? It was really good for a bit until I started feeling a storm brewing 10 times stronger than what Chuck E. Cheese did to me. So I immediately ran to the bathroom and... So apparently lactose intolerance is the milk one, but at least I don't lactose, baby.
I've been quarantined for 18 days now. I know it's only supposed to be 14 days, but I went and got tested a week ago and they never called me back. Did they maybe call me 3 times to tell me the results and I declined it because I have phone anxiety? Maybe. At least I got a free mask. Anywho, I'm sitting here after waking up at 8 p.m. because my sleep schedule is worse than the song Dance Monkey, and I thought to myself, if I woke up one morning and didn't feel too good and then all of a sudden I just pass away like that, like bada bing, bada boom, gone, no one, literally no one would know. My local Taco Bell might wonder why no one orders 5 chalupas in one order anymore. Or maybe my dog will eat me and realize she doesn't have an owner and then leave the house to start a new life. And then she's driving to work one day and someone stops her car and says, hey, is that a dog driving that car? And then it hit me that it would likely be months until someone discovered me, and I'd probably be covered in wasps and maggots and...
Hey, that got really dark. Did you know the plural term for platypus is platypi? They have venomous claws. Anyways, I'm gonna go cry now. Bye.
I was laying in the grass trying to get a bee to bite me so that I could become one of them and pee honey and then sell it and become rich. But all I got was a lump and an allergic reaction. But as my throat was closing up, a genius idea came to my head. People buy things that belong to celebrities all the time, and the one time I sold my own hair, I got $20. Now, I don't want to go bald, but what I can do is scam. So I decided to sell Zendaya burps. I grabbed every container in my house and burped in hundreds of containers, and in an hour, I had millions of dollars worth of product. I set up my website and the burps were flying off the shelves. I finally had enough money to buy my dream purchase on Amazon. So I ordered some uranium, hoping there would be enough to build my own nuclear power plant so that I could live on a deserted island forever. I was waiting and waiting for my package, and I started getting worried. My mailman always loses my packages, and uranium starts to decay if it's not held carefully. And eventually it'll Okay, so I don't think I'm going to the island. This morning when I woke up, I reached over to my light to turn it on, and it didn't. At first I thought the bulb died because it's $4 from IKEA, but then I looked at my iPad and it didn't charge overnight. And I realized I don't have any power. So I grabbed 4 blankets and wrapped myself up to conserve heat. Even though I accidentally left 2 candles burning overnight, I was still cold. So I decided to go upstairs and make myself a hot beverage to stay warm. And I can make coffee, but that's literally bean water. Or I can make matcha, which is just Shrek's ashes. So I ended up grabbing the matcha because I hate coffee. And I went to grab a cup, but they were all freaking dirty and gross. So I boiled some water in my kettle, which apparently Americans don't have. Like, let me know if you have a tea kettle or if that's just a British thing, love. Anyways, I poured some matcha and then the water after it. And then I went to grab the cup and I burned my hand on the glass, which was really fun. And I didn't have any cream because the fridge was warm from the electricity being out. So I took my blankets off and I gave it a test. And mama, let me tell you, it tasted like if dirt had a butthole. I ended up spitting it out. And then I poured the rest out on the concrete. But the water had rehydrated Shrek's ashes and he came back to life. I was giving palm trees high fives because, like, our hands are palms and palm trees are palms. So what if every time we pass one, we're leaving it hanging because its palms are out and it's expecting a high five and it gets sad and it drops all its coconuts and one falls on an elderly person? Anyways, I got home and saw that I had some weird goo on my hand from touching all the trees. And I couldn't wash it off or scrape it off, and like hand sanitizer wouldn't even dissolve it. And I was so confused what it was. And that's when I realized it's a squished ant. But it kind of smelled like Go-Go Squeeze applesauce, so I took a lick of it and let me tell you, these spicy boys hurt. So now I was addicted to ants, and every single day after that moment, I would take a straw to the cracks of every sidewalk in my neighborhood, sucking up ants, and they are pure protein, so I became so strong. And I was so powerful, my muscles became so big. Next week, I'll be doing my first UFC fight. Wish me luck. Remember on Vine when people would get injured and then go viral for no reason? Well, I'm gonna be the first person on TikTok. So that put me in a coma for about 50 years, and the first thing I did when I woke up was check if the TikTok of me getting hit by a car went viral. But I found out that TikTok was no more. It was replaced by Vine 2000. Anyways, I was feeling hungry and super skinny after not eating for 5 decades, so I checked what was in the fridge. There was some pizza with mold on it, but mold just adds extra flavor, so I ate it. After my mold meal, I decided to wander around the empty wasteland. I was skating around, but then started to feel lonely because humans went extinct from COVID-70. But then I realized, this is the future. I'm sure they have time travel. I said, hey Siri, do you have time travel? And she was like, yeah, stupid, it's the future. What date do you want to go to? And I decided to go to a date that would change history. November 13th. I teleported into a Walmart and went to go look for the Gummy Bear album. I looked on every shelf, but I was a year too early. I told Siri, pass me the rock, pick my dribble up. So my dad loves mangoes, so for Christmas, I got him a single mango from Walmart as his Christmas present. But I couldn't just wrap it because it would be obvious that I got him a mango like everyone else does for Christmas. So I grabbed my wrapping paper and I wrapped it as something completely different, then I put it under the tree. But a few weeks had passed and it started to smell really bad, and when I checked it, the mango had molded. So I had to throw the whole freaking present out and wrap a brand new mango. But I had run out of wrapping paper, so I got in my car and I drove back to Walmart and I found a tube of basic wrapping paper. And then I pretended it was a sword and I was swinging it around, but I accidentally killed a minion. Anyways, then I was bored in line, so I screamed into it like a horn and I said, Arby's, we have the meats. Anyways, I got home and I cut up the mango. I grabbed a random DVD case and I put all the mango slices in it, but my dad's cat tried eating it. Ugh. And then I wrapped the Lego Star Wars for Xbox 360 disc case and put it under the tree. And when I woke up this morning on Christmas, I gave it to him. What? So, I was trying to buy a tiger online so that my dog could have a little friend to play with. And I found one for $5. I thought in my head, this is such a great deal. It sounds so legitimate. The dude selling it was named Barbara, and he sent me a picture of a shipping container with his address and saying, meet me here, winky face. I was like, what a welcoming and sweet dude. I told Barbara, okay. And I went outside and hopped in my car, looked at my reflection and scared myself, put my seatbelt on, of course, and then drove 8 hours to go to his container house. I only crashed into one lane.
When I got there, I could hear circus music playing from the inside. I got out of my car and slowly approached the container. It kind of smelled like something rotting, but I really wanted my $5 tiger. I was about to go in, but guys, come on. Do you really think I'd do that? We have to social distance, so I'm waiting until after the pandemic to meet up with an unknown man named Barbara to buy a tiger from him for $5.
Hi there. I was looking at my mom's Facebook photos from when I was a kid, and like I immediately noticed something really strange that I never saw before. There's the same guy in the background of 3 different pictures, and like immediately I was freaked out because the only other person on these trips where these pictures were taken was my mom. And what makes things weirder is these are all in different years in different cities. He's really blurry in each picture, but I got this software that enhances the resolution of pictures that are like messed up, and it takes all night to run it, but come back tomorrow and I will show what it says.